Well, thanks so much for everyone coming down. It's great to see so many faces, some new faces, some people I've never seen before, but really appreciate the effort of everyone traveling today. Looking forward to an engaging presentation. There's a slider on the screen there, and if you scan the QR code, we're going to play a little interactive game halfway through, so on we go. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Alex Stenton here, but I'm an account director with the workforce engagement management team here at Business Systems. So I've been with the company about 7 years now and helping our clients to solve their challenges in customer experience and workforce engagement management technology. And I look after a team of some new business salespeople as well, speaking to prospective customers. I'm joined today by Scott.
Yeah, great to be here with you all today. I'm the Workforce in Process Optimization Manager at Business Systems. So my background is in the contact center industry. Today, I manage a team of consultants at Business Systems who help organizations like yourselves to find the right technology and make sure that's implemented successfully. So great to be here with you today and looking forward to talking to you more about how we've worked with Zen and how we can improve employee engagement.
Absolutely, and so this is absolutely what we're here to talk about today, is Zen Internet and their people first philosophy. So you can see there Richard Tang stood in front of their Rochdale headquarters. It's a brilliant story, Zen, actually, how it came to be. Back in 1995, Richard sat in the pub with his brother, having a beer and just really unhappy with the service that he's getting from his provider at that time, back when it was dial-up over the phone, before the broadband days. He thought, I can do a better job at this, so he got together with his brother, they founded a company, and they've grown a lot, obviously, since 95. They offer a whole range of products now, B2B, B2C products as well, and they've scaled a lot. As part of that journey, they've worked with us to deploy WFM to help them scale more effectively. The main thing is, though, that they've since inception, they've always had, their differentiator has always been to provide excellent customer service. And how have they done that? Well, at Zen, they've got a people-centric approach. So, as you can see, the saying at Zen goes, happy staff, happy customers and happy suppliers in that order. And so they really do have people at the heart of everything they do. As a result of all the good work they're doing, they've been recognised for multiple awards from Time's top 100 company to work for, like year in, year out. They've been recognised for the work they're doing for the local community in Rochdale. More recently, they got a B Corp. So don't know if anyone knows what B Corp is, but it's a great initiative, and it's about putting people and the environment before just pure profit. So yeah, Zen have a massive focus on their people. Look how happy they are. And for those of you who don't know Business Systems or BSL Group as we're known, we believe really that every customer deserves great service. You know, you're all customers, I'm a customer, Scott's a customer. We're all customers on a day-to-day basis, and we just believe that we all deserve great service, and we believe that every company should be able to deliver that service. And so how do we do that? Well, we have a very independent approach to technology. We provide value through our clients' CX technology stack. We consult around that to make sure they're getting the most from it. We actually believe that they need to get the most out of that to help their customers resolve their customer service challenges as well. And so with Zen, about 4 years ago when we first started working with them, they chose to deploy the Calabrio Teleopti WFM system with us, and we've been on that journey with them ever since.
Right, over to me. So, guys, we're going to have a bit of fun with this today. Right, we didn't want you falling asleep on us, so we've introduced a bit of a theme within our presentation today, where we're bringing up images of different films and different TV shows, some of the real classics. I'm sure you're going to know them all. But I'm going to ask you to get involved a little bit today and raise your hand if you can tell me the name of the film or the TV show. So the first one that we have here, you all know this, right? I think everyone's looking like they know this one. Can I get anybody to raise their hand? It's Apollo 13, right? Tom Hanks. You will see the links as we go through, by the way. So Houston, we have a problem, right? We do have a problem in the contact center industry. Many different organizations are finding that they're dealing with the Great Resignation. We've all heard lots of talks about that. That could fill a whole 30-minute slot all by itself, couldn't it? But ultimately, the problem that we have here is that there's not enough focus on agent well-being. And if we don't start to take that seriously, you are going to face that cycle of attrition. Okay, so yes, the Great Resignation, people are looking at other opportunities, you know, they're craving those roles where ultimately they will feel fulfilled, they will feel engaged. we've heard about a shortage of talent within a lot of contact centres, a lot of organisations. And that was something that saddens us, isn't it, in many ways, Alex? Because actually those that are leveraging cloud contact centre technology, what they're able to find is actually they can widen that search in terms of that talent pool and attract new talent into their organisation. But actually, sadly, what we're hearing is that for many, their technology is falling short. And just a couple of stats, that's from the Health of Contact Centre 2021 research by the vendor Calabrio. They've showed us that 1 in 3 agents are looking to leave or consider leaving their role within the next year. And half are looking to leave within the next 2 to 3 years. Now that's a worrying stat, okay? So if we're not taking it seriously already, we really should be. Okay, next film, classic. Come on, who knows it? It's Jaws. Yeah, Jaws. You're going to need a bigger boat. Classic line in the film Jaws. Right, these guys, they were very much feeling the squeeze, right, from a killer shark. Now, luckily, none of your agents are having to deal with killer sharks, right? I hope not. Okay? A few are laughing. Well, that'd be nice. But no, they're not. But you know what? Agents are reporting higher amounts of stress levels within the contact centre today. There are some more stats here from that Health of Contact Centre research that I mentioned. I'm not going to go through them all, but I'm just going to highlight a couple. 41% of agents are reporting higher stress levels due to not being able to manage their work-life balance. 73% of agents talking about the fact that rising customer expectations is a real top challenge for them. Now, the good news is we can do something about this. Zen Internet have. They've implemented a WFM solution with us. They've empowered their agents. They can have a say in when they're being scheduled. They can manage that work-life balance much better today than they ever have done. A couple more stats at the bottom. 18% of agents reporting that the top reason for leaving their role would be receiving higher pay. Only 18%. Now, we thought that would be a lot higher, and you probably thought it would be too. But actually, what the research has shown us is that what people are really looking to leave for is that greater happiness, that fulfillment that I talked about, that engagement within their role. And Gallup have done some research that shows us that actually it takes a 20% pay increase to take somebody away from their current organisation who is engaged and satisfied and happy with their work. Ultimately, the message here is that it doesn't take anything to poach somebody who's disengaged.
That's it, so keeping people engaged. Right, now this is another good film. I don't know if anyone's got any ideas. Show me the money.
Show me the money.
That's it, Joe McGuire. Perfect. So, absolutely, you're not getting £50 for that, but there is a chance to win £50 next with our interactive Slido game. So hopefully, a lot of you, if you haven't already, scan that and get logged in. It's a short quiz, and Scott's going to explain a little bit more about that now.
It is. So just 4 questions today that we'll be asking you, and it's related to some of that research carried out by Gallup. So if you haven't already scanned it, guys, this is your last chance. We're going to give away a £50 Amazon gift card here today. So everybody get involved. Just to add a bit of context, what we're looking at here, there's some research carried out by Gallup, and they've compared the organisations in the bottom quartile, so thinking about those with really low engagement scores, they've compared them to those in the top quartile who have really great engagement levels within their contact centre, and we're now talking about the potential improvement. So what if we can take an organisation from being within that bottom quartile and take them to that top quartile? So we'll be asking you questions related to this. Now, it's not just about who can get them all right, but it's about who can get them right the quickest. So do be ready and do answer quickly and accurately.
Fastest finger on the buzzers.
Fastest finger first. Let's jump in, Alex.
I've got to switch screens, and we're going to start this off.
Is everybody in?
And if not, it's too late.
Right, okay. Let's start it off.
First question.
Okay, so through improved employee engagement, what is the typical productivity increase? Hopefully you will see this on your screen. In fact, we can see the votes coming in.
Coming in.
So 10%, 13%, 17% or 20%. Typical productivity increase if we can improve employee engagement scores. Okay, last few seconds, I believe. 4, 3, 2, 1, right. Okay, let's have a look, Alex. Okay. Maybe move that phone slightly, Alex, actually, if you're okay. So, so actually, yeah, pleased to say, what's that? 38% of you have answered correctly, 17%. So if you've answered that, I think you're still in with a good shot of winning the prize. Okay, let's move on to the next question. But it's significant, right? 17% productivity increase. What about profitability? So, you know, if our staff are engaged, they're working smarter, they're more productive, great. That's going to help increase profitability. But to what extent? 6%, 11, 17, 21. 13 seconds. Profitability increase. Okay, nobody's going for 6%, nobody's going for 17. Have we got a lot of disappointed people? Okay, 31% of you were correct. Yeah, really impressive stat. 21% profitability increase if we can improve those employee engagement scores. Next question. Okay, through improved employee engagement, what is the typical reduction in absenteeism? Okay, so people are feeling fulfilled, they're engaged now. You know, we've taken them from that bottom quartile. They're doing a lot of things right. Staff are feeling good, less likely to be absent from their role. Big spread, Alex. We've gone for 9%, 41, 58 or 74.
Who knows?
Who knows? Let's find out. Okay, yeah. Okay, many of you correct. 31% of you said 41% reduction in absenteeism. You know, think about what that can do within your contact centre, within your organisation, if you can reduce your absenteeism by 41%. Okay, last question. Through improved employee engagement, typical reduction in shrinkage levels. 0, 15, 28 or 45. And I imagine if you've got 3 out of 3 right now, you're getting pretty excited, right? So good luck to you. 12 seconds remaining. Do get those votes in. Okay, let's hit the results then, Alex. Let's find out. Somebody's about to jump out of their chair. Right, 28% reduction in shrinkage levels for those organisations if we can take them to that top quartile. Let's have a look. Oh, I think Adam's done well. Let's have a look at the leaderboard. It's Adam. A number of you. Okay, so well done to Phil, Lisa, Zoe. You all got 3 out of 4. Adam got 3 out of 4. You are the winner of the Amazon voucher because you did so in 42 seconds. Come on up here and get your prize, Adam. Round of applause, everyone. Round of applause. Nice one. Just a quick photo, Alex. Okay.
Brilliant.
Well done, Adam. Congratulations. Thank you very much. Okay, well, thanks for playing along, everyone, and congratulations again to Adam there for picking up that £50 Amazon gift card. That's it. Okay, on to the next slide, Alex. So there's some of that research from Gallup. You can see some of those statistics there that we were just quizzing you on. I'm not going to spend very long on this slide, but I do want to just draw your attention to this statistic up here. 85% of employees worldwide have reported that they're not engaged or actively disengaged in their job today. Okay, so the message I received from that is that there's still so much that we can be doing and so much more that we should be doing. Some organisations are doing some really great things, and we all hear those great success stories, but from my point of view, there's clearly not enough of them. So let's think about what more we can do. And we'll share with you a little bit more detail now about some of those things that Zen Internet have been doing.
Alrighty, there's another classic film here. Don't make me do the accent.
Come on, Alex, let's hear the impression. Come on.
Mama always said life was like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get. There you go. Forrest Gump, that's it.
Forrest Gump.
Very good. But seriously, I don't know, this is a poor link, I think, but no, we'll go with it anyway, Scott. Just like the box of chocolates, they're all a little bit different. It's very like our customer requirements, all a little bit different. And with Zen, of course, what they were focused on was, driving employee engagement through the tool that they were going to buy from Business Systems. So what they really wanted to do is improve that work-life balance, give their employees flexibility, and really give them that flexibility from anywhere as well. So, prior to the WFM deployment, it was a very manual and Excel-based process. There was a bit of a bottleneck sometimes with the resource planning team having to manually approve things. And so, following the WFM deployment, we can automate a lot of that, and it's really good for driving employee engagement. So there's a great quote from Leslie on the screen there as well. You can read that in your own time.
Okay, we're on to TV now. I think this is one of Will's personal favourite shows. Anybody know this TV show? Anyone? Come on, we got to know it. Am I bothered? Yeah. Catherine Tate show. Am I bothered? Yeah. Well, what I can tell you is that agents are bothered. Your agents are bothered. They're bothered about working in, high, pressurised environments, hostile working environments. And there's more that we can be doing to try and address that. And I just want to share with you one thing that Zen Internet have done really well. They've really embraced some of the functionality that's on offer to them within their WFM solution in the form of agent proficiency. So thinking about onboarding of agents or agents who pick up new skills, really important that we reflect the proficiency of that agent within any skill that they're carrying out. So if they're like my good friend Alex here, who works at half speed, it's really important that we reflect that, right? If we need 50 people today at midday working our customer service demand, it's no good having 50 Alexes, because I can tell you're going to fail, right? It works at half speed. Effectively, you've got 25 people. Now, this is really important because ultimately, what we're trying to do here is make sure, that's a bit of a classic cliche, one of Alex's favourite sales lines, right? Right people with the right skill in the right place at the right time. We've all heard it, but super important to make sure that we don't create those pressurised environments. So Zen Internet, they're reflecting the proficiency, and it's making sure that they're not under-resourcing the contact centre. We haven't got those horrid red wall boards, people running around frantically, breathing down people's necks, putting pressure on everyone. So it's created a really pleasant working environment. It's helped ensure that they've got those right number of resources in the right place. And they do reflect, of course, the increase in proficiency. We don't want to be over-resourcing the contact centre as well. So that's all factored in.
Thanks, Scott. I'd say that I work at double speed, not half speed, but that's fine. So another good film here. This is probably the easiest one so far, right? It's one of Scott's favourites. I know you love a night in with the missus watching this one. Anyone? It's really easy.
You got it.
Titanic.
You got it. Titanic.
All right, good. And this is Jack in Titanic saying, "I'm the king of the world." And that is exactly how the agents at Zen are feeling right now. One of the main reasons why is the amount of personal development time which they're getting, which is an increase of about 500% since before WFM. And the reason that they've been able to ensure that at Zen is because with the resource planning tool they're using, it's scheduled in at a time which is least detrimental to the business. And what that means is that it's not going to be pulled away at the last second. I've worked in a contact centre in a previous life, I know Scott has, and as an agent, what you really don't want is stuff getting pulled away from you when that's your time for learning and development. So really important that they keep that in there. It's really good for their career development, and Zen obviously have a really, really strong internal career development path. I would say as well that really helps keep attrition down, which obviously is a big problem at the moment with the great resignation, as Scott was talking about earlier. Another quite a nice, benefit really that Kaylee, the resource planning manager at Zen, mentioned just recently to me was around the Christmas period. So Christmas coming around the corner soon, and hopefully a lot of you have got that booked off already to spend time with your families and loved ones. For Zen, before WFM, it was always a bit of a finger in the air job in terms of, can I let all these people be off work at that time or not? Are we going to meet service levels for our customers? Following the rollout of WFM, they've got really, really good visibility of exactly what their service level is going to be at any given interval over that period. And Kaylee was just delighted at the fact she could tell me we now allow twice as many people off than we ever did before. So a really good win. Zen are having another happy Christmas this year.
Great stuff, Alex. Okay, there's the next film. I think you all know this one. What you're figuring out in the film, though, I just want to touch on that, though. 500% increase in personal development time. Please take that away. Think about that. If you haven't got this type of technology in place already, and whether you buy it through business systems or anyone else, you need to be thinking about making that investment, because if you can do that, think about the difference that makes to the quality, within your organisation. Anyway, let's name this next film. We all know this one. Come on, what is it? Wizard of Oz, right? Yeah, absolutely. One of Alex's personal favourites, I know. And that classic line, there's no place like home. There's no place like home. And certainly that's how many of our agents feel, right? They like to be at home. In Zen Internet, they're feeling very happy about the fact, yes, they have a solution that enables them to schedule people at home or in the office, hybrid working, all the different variations of. But actually, the point I want to make here is, actually, for many of our employees, it's about them being at home or being available, for their family and for commitments in their personal life when it really matters to them. And what Zen Internet have done is they've introduced something, in the form of a mobile app. So agents not only have visibility of schedules at their desktop, but also via mobile device. So they can view their schedules, but they can also interact with those schedules. Alex touched on annual leave and how they've introduced automation there, but actually other types of absence as well. So toil, yeah, time off in lieu, or duvet days. Anybody still do those? Duvet days? Yeah, showing me age a bit, maybe. But ultimately, they get those immediate responses, and they can interact with the schedules in other ways too. So if they want to move their own break or move their own lunch, they can do that. We can build rules in around that, of course, to protect service levels.
Very good. I might have a duvet day tomorrow to watch Wizard of Oz. Do it. So on to the next TV show. This is another classic. 10 minutes left. Thanks. So we got anyone want to shout that out? Only Fools and Horses. Thank you. That's it. That's Del Boy and Only Fools and Horses saying this time next year, Rodney, we'll be millionaires. And whilst I'm not promising that if you deploy WFM you'll become millionaires personally, there are some brilliant financial savings to be realised. And really, that's boils down into kind of 4 key areas for us and our clients. Starting off with the scheduling optimization, so moving from a manual-based process of, is this going to fit here? Is it going to fit there? Moving to fully automate that with an algorithm to automatically place shifts at the best possible time. See about 10% increasing in scheduling efficiency, which is massive. We've got a lot of improvements. We already talked about the reduction in sickness, attrition, but just think about the amount you spend at your organisations in recruitment costs every year. Because of the reduced attrition, hopefully we're going to save a lot in recruitment costs there as well. Things like adherence, so are people actually doing what you've asked them to do, and being able to track that really easily is another area. And then lastly, I would say the amount of administration time that the planning team in the organisation will save as a result of this is significant as well.
Yeah. I think the point here, right, Alex, is what we're saying here is that all of these things, though, actually have links to the improved employee engagement. And what we're not trying to do here is necessarily turn this into a sales pitch by talking about return on investment and about savings. But ultimately, many of you are going to want to go back maybe to your organisation now and say, hey, we need to be thinking about WFM. We need to be thinking about investing in a WFM solution. But actually, maybe to grab the attention of certain individuals within your organisation, going with that kind of people first message and what it can do for your people maybe just isn't enough. So we just want to get the message out to you guys that yes, it can benefit your people, but for those that are concerned with the bottom line, it can benefit the accounts as well. Yeah, that's the message.
It's a great point, Scott, and I'd say that the work we do at BSL as well in terms of value realisation, so actually working with you and your teams before we go live, measuring some of the key metrics, measuring them again afterwards, and looking at how we can drive those savings and actually realise them with you as an organisation. Something we do really well.
Okay, last film. Definitely one of my personal favourites. We all know this one, right? Come on, somebody give me the answer. Toy, thank you very much. Toy Story, right? Buzz Lightyear, what a guy he is. To infinity and beyond. This is how Zen Internet are feeling, right? The sky's the limit. These guys have done some remarkable things for their employees, and they continue to do so. The exciting thing for them is that there's further functionality that's available there for them that actually, they've not even embraced yet. So they're looking to switch on gamification. So introducing game dynamics to key performance indicators within the contact center. And that can be those that really matter to them. They can bring in quality scores, they can bring in CSAT, sales conversions, whatever's important to them, they can bring those game dynamics. Grant, so introducing some artificial intelligence into the WFM solution. So Grant is a bot that lives in the agent portal. Agents can engage with Grant. Grant will tell them that they can perhaps go home early today, or maybe there's an opportunity to come in later tomorrow. It will share the need for overtime. So a really cool way for agents to actually engage and interact with their schedules. We know that Zen are also going to roll out to additional teams. So one of the things that we do at Business Systems is talk to organisations around the best way to implement this type of solution. Often a land and expand approach, and that's something that we're going through with Zen Internet. And then the exciting thing is that there's lots more functionality coming too. So, the WFM vendors out there, they're looking at further possibilities, further development, and actually there's going to be more flexible scheduling options. People are talking about the Uber type scheduling, right? They're talking about partial day shift swaps, build your own schedule, shift bidding, all these kind of things. They're all going to be coming into the product soon as well. So actually lots of things that Zen can benefit from.
Absolutely. Just when they thought it couldn't get any better, and it still is.
I think Alex said they're buzzing.
Oh, that's awful.
I did tell him to leave it out, and I've ended up putting it in. Right, so guys, key takeaways. Right, a few for you. So if you haven't got the message already, please do go back. Put your people first.
Empower your people. Give them the work-life balance which they desperately crave.
Yeah, and ultimately, right, give your people, please, the tools they need to do their job.
And if we do all that right, what we're seeing is improved agent experience means an improved customer experience. So thank you very much, everyone, for listening. Any questions?
Any questions at all? Okay, yeah, gentlemen.
When you say introduce gamification, what does that look like?
Okay, so essentially, any organisation can choose a different game period. So it can be a rolling game, it could be a weekly game, it could be a monthly game. But ultimately, what we can do is actually introduce a little bit of inter-team competition to try and increase those productivity levels within the contact centre and to try and improve those performances from those individuals. Now, what an organisation chooses to gamify is actually up to them. So in years gone by, it used to be quite rigid, and there were really just a few different metrics really that you could gamify. But as I mentioned earlier, the exciting thing now is they can bring in absolutely anything that they want to gamify. So if they want to import call quality scores and look at quality scores and also maybe adherence, whatever they want to do, they can do that. And then each day, based on the statistics, agents receive badges or stars, and they then compete with each other within that leaderboard. Now, different organisations will do different things to try and motivate those employees. Some of the challenges that we do see is how do you motivate your middle of the road people. They're never going to be top of the table. So you can come up with different ideas to actually say, look, if you can increase the number of gold stars you get in the next game period, we'll incentivise you to do so. And actually, if you can achieve that, then you win time off, a bottle of wine, a box of chocolates, whatever it might be. Or maybe we even link it to some of the flexible scheduling options. A lot of organisations introduce in preference-based scheduling, for example, where people get a number of must-have shifts. So maybe if within that gamification, if you achieve X, Y, Z, we actually give you an additional must-have or a higher preference fulfillment. So there's lots of cool things that people are doing. It's okay. Any other questions at all? Phil? Oh, sorry, yeah, wait for the mic.
Yeah, thanks, Scott. It's about the proficiency. How's that calculated?
Sure.
Yeah.
So we try to understand from organisations what they've been doing right now to understand the proficiency of those agents. And as you can imagine, some do very little, some do a bit more. But ultimately, I think a lot of it does come down to gut feel, but also to a little bit of experience. So actually what they know is, what the data has shown them and what some of the performance metrics have shown them is that those people out of, say, grab bay training, they do work like Alex for the first month, they're half speed. But actually what history has told them is that actually during month 2, they do start to see an increase. So maybe they work at kind of 3/4 speed, maybe a bit like Neil here, right? And then actually by month 3, it's 100%. And that's where it's really important to understand, how that increases over time. Now we can either sort of load that in, we can kind of bake that in. So actually when we're scheduling, it factors that in, those different stages, or it can actually be an indication from team leaders. So some organisations choose not to take that approach. And what they actually say is, well, we'll inform resource planning. We're going to be keeping an eye on our new starter here. And when his performances reach a certain level, we'll let you know. And then we'll reflect that individual as being 75% proficient. So we apply that as a what we call a person period, and then it reflects that uplift in proficiency. And then we can click a button and optimise the schedules. And if as a result of that increase in proficiency across not only just an individual, but maybe a number of people, it now recognises we need our resources in a different place at a different time, then it'll make the adjustments for you.
Good. Anything else? Any other questions? And if you do want to ask a question but not in front of the audience, our stand is just over there, so feel free. One more here, yeah? We've got the mic.
Do you have any measures in place if you don't see the results that you anticipate?
To actually justify that increase in proficiency? Well, I guess this is why some of those organisations choose not to assume. So to say, okay, well, by month 2, yes, they are at 75%. So I guess if that is a concern within your organisation, what I would say is to take the other approach that I mentioned there. So, okay, a little bit of manual effort needed. Somebody needs to be kind of monitoring the performance of that individual. The last thing we want is to leave somebody in as being 50% proficient and they're up at full speed. So I guess what we would say to put in place is to have that safety net and actually don't increase the proficiency from month 2, and instead, monitor that individual. And then when you're comfortable that they've reached a certain level, maybe consistently, you want to see that over a period of time, maybe when it's at that level for a week or 2 weeks, then and only then do we increase the proficiency. Yeah. Okay, any other questions?
If not, we'll be back. Thanks so much for your time once again. It's been a pleasure. Great engagement throughout, so thank you very much.
Thank you, everyone.